views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program host and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by TCN TV Network Incorporated. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos may contain content copyrighted by another entity or person. The TCN TV Network claims no rights to the said content. TCN TV Network cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. TCN TV Network is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this program.
And then we expand on them with very. I'll finish off the change by buying gum. Pardon? What? And it took me a while to decipher what he was saying. I came up with we can get better at what we're weak at, and we can even get better at what we're strong at. What makes communication healthy or effective? And Welcome to this edition of What Matters. I'm your host, Erica Lita, and today my guest is Wonder Woman, Tracey-Acadia Thomas. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. Again, this is another person that I actually wanted to have on the show for quite a while, and it's interesting, recently things have worked out this way that spots open, things align. We're both here in Burgundy, and here you are with very, very short notice. Alignment. Exactly. And actually, Tracy originally planned to be here in December, but things worked out and you were able to be here today. So I thank you so much for making the time. I know there's a lot going on, and so thank you for making the time to be here with us today to share your story of great, great inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's start at the beginning. Who is Tracey-Acadia Thomas? Well, I've had the pleasure of being her virtual friend for I think about 2-3 years now, but I had the pleasure of meeting you earlier this year at the female edition of the Soulful Image Awards. I was nominated. I was very pleased to be nominated this year, and that's when I first met you. But I'm going to tell the audience a little bit about who you are, and then you're going to fill them in because I know I can't possibly get through everything. So one of the things we'll be discussing is marriage. Tracy is a wife. She's a mother. She is the editor-in-chief of Soulful Image magazine. She is also leads a women's ministry called Soulful Women, Soul Sistas in Purpose. And you are also an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, and you are also now an author.
Yes, I am. Yes.
So that's a lot of hats to wear. So let's start at the beginning. What would have come first? So how did you start on this journey in media? Because the subtitle of this edition is Soulful Beyond the Image.
Yes.
And I think that's really important because a lot of times people put forth an image. They put forth, a look, a brand. But the soulfulness, the essence of it is really what happens behind the scenes, right? It's not just the glossy, pretty pictures and the finished magazine. It's what you do every day. And I see that you put a lot into your community. And
definitely.
That is in addition to having children, which in and of itself is a community.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Two boys.
And then, two boys and a man.
Technically 3. That's
yeah,
right.
Exactly 3. So I for everything I hear of marriage, a husband's a community in and of itself.
It is, yeah.
And then you put so much out into the community, the magazine, the ministry. So tell me, where did it start? What was your very first endeavor? How did you go from, a person that, 9 to 5, have your own little family, kind of minding your business, to having all your fingers and toes and eyelashes in all these different parts of the community? How did this start, Tracy?
Honestly, it all started with my husband. So he started off with his own T-shirt business, and as his wife, I wanted to support him and help him excel. So that's where we started our entrepreneurial journey. And, as a husband and wife team, there's always challenges, I think for myself, because I'm very driven, I like things a certain way, and he's very artistic. He's very he's just an amazing,
the yin and
amazing
yang.
soul. He's just amazing. So I was kind of like, okay, we need some more designs here. We need some more designs there. And he said, this is my vision. God gave me this vision. You can't really do the vision the way that God gave it to me. And that kind of humbled me. I was kind of like, okay, I got to step back a little bit here. So I actually prayed and I asked God to give me something of my own, that I could put my heart, my talent, and everything that he's put into me into. And he gave me the magazine.
That's amazing. So how many years ago was this that your husband started the t-shirt business?
So the t-shirt business, he started around 1997.
Okay.
I came in the picture to help him, I think around 2007, 2008.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time we got a loan and started the business from there. He started as a urban clothing line.
Okay.
So we went out and we were selling his clothing line called Fareal, Fareal.
Okay.
So for real. And then it evolved into a custom tees and screen printing business called For Real Tees.
So it evolved, it developed.
Yeah.
Was that, you said now he had a vision.
Mm-hmm.
How it evolved, was that how he initially envisioned it, or did it take on kind of a life of its own?
It kind of took on a life of its own. He started it with because he's an illustrator and he's an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So he started with his urban hip-hop type of drawings. And then he found the opportunity to put them on T-shirts. And we're like, yes, let's go with this, So just from doing different vending events, Mutati Drum Festival, Afrofest, yes, Carib Fest. We did a lot of events during the summertime, and we met a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Irie Music Festival, actually the coordinators came and they saw what we were doing. They're like, can you do a t-shirt for our festival?
That's amazing.
And Alistair actually designed something so amazing that it sold out 2 years in a row. And then he designed something new, and then that one sold out. And then they requested the original one because it was just so amazing. And so they ended up running the first design 3 years.
That's amazing. You know what? I'm sitting here, I'm smiling. I don't know what angle the camera was on because I was really looking at Tracy. But one of the things that I'm loving listening to you and hearing is your enthusiasm for your husband's success.
Yes.
And, in the car on my way, I was telling a friend a little bit about what the show would be today. And I said, I'm really excited that one of the things she's going to be speaking on is marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is an entrepreneurial couple. They're out there doing things together. But it's so much the foundation. The family is the founding block of our community.
That's
right.
And
to see a wife so enthused about her husband's success, and then to hear you say earlier too, he kind of told you, "Oh, baby, step back." You know what I mean? Like you came in with all your lines and your rulers, you're ready, and you're like, "Okay, we're gonna do this." You're like, "Yeah, I love you, but
yes,
this is my things." And for you to say, I was humbled, and I was mad, and I told him, "Well, do it yourself," and and you looked for something of your own to pour into while still supporting him in his dreams. So I think that is such an amazing message, and wanted to highlight that because more and more people, they need to put the ego aside and work in love and work towards other people's success. And when your partner, especially your partner, to say, yeah, your vision and my vision are not the same. A lot of people would get in their feelings and draw back and be like, so you do that then. But
to be honest, I did get in my feelings a little bit, but, like I said, I humbled myself and I took it to the Lord and I said, Lord, what do you want me to do? And he said, continue to support him, but I'll give you something as well.
And so that's how we came to
Soulful Image Magazine.
Let me hold it on up.
So this is the current issue.
So here we have it, Soulful Image Magazine.
And this is our 5-year anniversary issue, as we're 5 years in print this year.
And I love it. I'm old school. I love the tactile feeling of print.
Yes.
I know a lot of people like online, but I saw a very interesting article saying that books are still outselling ebooks because people like to touch,
Yes,
to feel.
they like
and
the tangible.
Yeah,
They
it's tangible, and you don't have to charge it. You don't
have.
have to plug it in. You can put it
Yeah.
in your bag. It's there. So I think that there is something very, very special to print that will never be lost. Will never be, lost to digital media. Obviously, that is a big part, and that's something we'll talk about a little bit later, because obviously digital media is a huge part of what you do, even in with a print magazine.
Yes.
But I think that it's, like I said, what really resonated, what stood out to me from this little part of our talk, is how you can see it in her face, and I don't know how well the camera's showing it, but how proud she is of her husband. Like, she's just like here, sitting here glowing, and then he did this, and then it sold out,
Well,
and he
puts the whole magazine together. He is the layout creative director. He also creates a little comic of our family that we put in every issue. Like, he's extremely talented.
And you're extremely proud. And that just warms my heart. I love. And so that is just wonderful, wonderful to hear. So when we come back, Tracey's going to tell us exactly how do you get from like an idea, God saying to you, don't worry, I got something for you, I'm going to give you something, to actually producing like a printed magazine that has honors and being recognized for so many awards by our community. So when we come back from this break, Tracey's going to tell us how she went from like the idea to the actual physical thing. So we'll be right back after this break.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Welcome back to this edition of What Matters. I'm your host, Erica Lita, and today I am here with a Soulful Image CEO, Tracey-Acadia Thomas. Thank you for joining us, Tracey. Thank you for coming and sharing. So, in the first segment, we spoke about her awesome husband.
Yes, we did.
We spoke about her awesome husband. But Tracey was sharing with us the beginning of the beginning, how she kind of got started going from being, a mom and a wife, and you go to work and you mind your business, to being such a big part of the Toronto Caribbean community. Yes. So your husband got a mission. He took his art. He started printing shirts. He found enormous success in doing that. And you looked at this and said, well, I'd like something to do too.
Yes.
And the idea for the magazine came to you. So what did that look like when you started?
Well, to be honest, doing a magazine wasn't anything that I had aspired to do. It literally was a message from the Lord saying, do a magazine. So when I was pregnant with my last son, I had taken some time off, as I'm also a singer. So I was singing in choirs and at church, and I was doing a lot of things, and I had to go on bed rest. So once he was born, I literally took my laptop and I created 3 websites. One was for my online bookstore called Faith Filled Books.
Wait, Faithful Books is you?
Faithfilledbooks.com is me.
That's you? Oh, okay. That I'm surprised because I also follow Faithful Books, and I didn't know that it was you.
That's me. That's another ministry extension. Yeah.
Okay. So, wow.
Because when I created my first book, which was called Count Your Blessings. It's a financial workbook, speaking the word of God over your finances.
Yes, I saw that, the finances.
So I always knew that I loved to write, and I created the website to help promote my own stuff. But then I thought, you know what? I don't have enough things to put on there. So I just filled it with all sorts of faith-based books and Bibles and resources to help people who want to enhance their faith journey.
So you did not originally have it's not like you came into this with this vague idea, like, I've always wanted a magazine. Let me set up. This was never in your thoughts. It just
never in my thoughts to do a magazine. Like I said, I started off with the bookstore, and as soon as I gave birth to my last son, I heard a still voice say, "Start a magazine." And I thought, magazine? I don't know anything about a magazine. How am I going to do this? My graphic skills aren't as great as Alistair's, so I didn't think that I was good enough. But I kept hearing, start a magazine. And it got to the point where I'm like, okay, I know this isn't coming from me. And so when I told my husband about it, he was like, a magazine? And he thought about it. And he said, you know what? It's going to be the best looking magazine out there. That's what he said to me. And ever since, we've been just on this journey just to create something that's going to inspire and help people increase their faith.
So Soulful Image Magazine, tell me, what is it about?
So it is a faith lifestyle magazine. I am a Christian. I didn't want to create a denominational magazine because then that would make it very segregated and it would just close off from the masses.
Right.
So I said faith lifestyle just because I think there's a lot of, underlying tones that relates to everybody, So the Faith Lifestyle magazine, it encompasses your health, beauty and lifestyle, business, relationships, self-development, every area of your life. You should have faith that you can do all that you can and be who you want to be.
I find that amazing that you say that because just a moment ago you said, I wasn't sure I was good enough to do this.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons that I really wanted Tracy to come and share her story, is that it's based on faith.
It is so based on faith. Sorry, but I have to say, a lot of times we rely on ourselves. And when we rely on ourselves, we're more easy to fail. But when you trust in God, your creator, when you trust in the source that created you and implanted the ideas and the seeds and things for you to do, he will align everything that you need to make it succeed.
I agree 100%. And I also believe that the angels that he puts in your life, in the form of human beings, in the form of mere mortals. Sometimes you get to marry them. Sometimes, they're your friends, they're your coworkers. Sometimes what I've found is that there'll be someone who's been in your life and then they almost take on, at certain points, an angelic quality. It's like the message comes through them or the mission comes to them. Or have you ever felt compelled to tell someone something and you're not really sure why? Or someone will say to you, I had to tell you this and it's kind of weird, but I really felt I had to tell you. And I believe it's because there are times where we are given the job of being messengers, right?
Yes.
And I just find it extremely inspiring that this part of Tracy's story, I didn't know that this wasn't like a master plan from day one.
It was not.
And to hear a calling and say, okay, I'll do that, even though I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then have as you said, the support, not only trusting the source, but then having the support of your husband, of, other people, I'm sure, in your life in community that have helped.
Yeah.
And so this is a faith lifestyle magazine. And what I find really interesting about this is trying to find the right word for it, almost the non-stuffiness of it.
Yes.
The realness of it, right?
Yeah.
The fact that it's alive and modern and realistic and relevant, not treating people of faith like they're in this little bubble and all the other things in the world don't affect them, like social media and mental health and exercise. And I think that it's wonderful that, to me, what this magazine does is it works both ways in having people of faith understand the different aspects of their life, and then also having people who maybe don't see themselves that way understand that you can be a person of faith and participate in all these areas of life, right?
Yes.
Because it's a full life, it's a round life, it's
That's
not
right.
narrow.
That's right. And we're all connected. So I find that sometimes, when people can get a little bit rigid and kind of try and conform you in a box when it comes to Christianity or any religion or faith ways of thinking. I just think that we need to be more humanized. We need to be more humanized in the sense that we gotta think about people, because we're all connected, and it's the spirit that connects us all. And when we connect to that spirit, God will be in control, and He will guide us where we need to go and do what we need to do.
Yeah, I love the as you said, the humanity.
Yeah.
So what has been like your most surprising lesson learned doing this? Like, what did you learn on this journey of creating this? And it is a beautiful magazine. Like, visually, it looks like something that you'd pull off of any of those, big magazine stores that I love downtown. And as I said, I'm really big on paper quality, and I love the thickness and the way the paper's set up.
Yeah.
So I'm sure your very first issue didn't look like this exactly. It was a progress, right? I'm sure.
Yes.
What's the most surprising thing you learned, like something you didn't expect?
I think ultimately when you have an idea, you think, things are just going to fall into place. It doesn't always.
No.
It doesn't always, but it's a learning process, and I believe that this is something that God gave me to give to the world, but He's also using it to refine myself too, just helping me be a little bit more, organized, on time with certain things. Like, there's a lot of things that you have to do in order to be successful, and it's a process. It doesn't happen right away, So I'm liking to see the process that we're going through and the advancement and, the growth, and just being content with God allowing things to happen in His timing and not mine.
It's teaching you patience.
Yes,
sounds like.
it
teaching
is.
you patience.
It is.
I think that's definitely a super important. I think, is that a quality of value, but the ability to wait. It's not just waiting, but it's how you wait, right?
It's waiting, and also just trusting God with it. Because again, like I said, a lot of us like to do things in our own strength and wanting things sooner than we're really prepared for. So it's really just trusting God with the whole vision, the whole process, and just saying, God, I give it over to you. I'm a vessel now. This is your idea. This isn't mine. It came from Him, because He told me, start it. And I'm seeing that certain things have lined up in such a way. I'm like, how did that happen? And it's because He had it planned from the beginning when He gave it to me.
Amen. So when we come back from this break, we're going to learn more about Soulful Sisters Ministries?
Soul Sisters.
Soul Sisters Ministries. And we have a great upcoming event that we're going to discuss. So when we come back from the break, we will talk about that and more with Tracey-Acadia Thomas.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
World-famous spiritual astrologer and psychic Pandit Sai is born to serve people. He's an expert on palmistry and horoscope. He can handle all problems and give Vedic solutions for business, job, love, marriage, husband and wife problems, children, personal, and many others, including depression. He also performs pujas to clear all sorts of obstacles. Call Pandit Sai and see changes in your life now. 647-766-1419. Located at 2895 Derry Road, East Mississauga, Airport Road and Derry.
Welcome back to this edition of What Matters. I'm your host, Erica Elita, and today I am here with my guest, Tracey-Acadia Thomas.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
So we were talking about your vision, your mission, your inspirational or inspired project, Soulful Image Magazine. And there's also the Soulful Image Awards. And then, I don't know if you can remember them all, but I can't, so I'm not even going to pretend. You've been awarded several awards. You've been recognized for your efforts, for your endeavors. Can you tell us some of them that you've actually...
Oh, my goodness. There's the...
this one here.
Yes, the 100 Black Canadian Women to Watch.
Yep. I'm going to pull some of these up.
There's so many, I can't
Yes,
remember.
and see, do you hear? She's like, there's so many.
Yeah.
So we have, she won Women on Fire Media Award
Women
in
on
April
Fire.
2015.
Yes.
Built to Inspired Premise on Excellent Award, September 2015. Queens Rising Together Award in February 2016. 100 Black Canadian Women to Watch in June 2016. 100 Accomplished Black Canadian Women publication in June 2016. Okay, guys, there's a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot. There's a lot. And I'm
You
really
can read
happy.
them all on my website.
You can read them all on her website. And it's how, when this started, when you started getting these nominations and these awards, were you surprised?
Yeah, I was. I was. I mean, I don't do this for the accolades. I do it because it's what God gave me to do, and so I'm just being obedient and, just putting forth what He put in my heart to create.
So, is that what inspired you to start doing the Soulful Image Awards?
So, the way it actually came about, and it's the Inspirational Queens.
Mm-hmm.
So I started recognizing 10 inspiring women in the spring. And then we ended up doing a feature with Devon Franklin. We had gone to a men's conference in Brampton. And that's how we started to do a special men's edition. And so we added the Inspirational Kings event and awards. The Inspirational Queens, we actually... partnered together with Diana Jerry. So she has the platform of Queens Rising, and she was doing awards for women in the community. And her very first one, she nominated and awarded me. So when we saw that our platform was kind of the same, we decided to partner up. And yeah, we've just been supporting each other and uplifting each other, and that's how it started.
Another terrific message, another really important message is what Tracey just said. Decided to partner up.
Yes.
Recognizing that the platforms were similar, and instead of dividing the audience and trying to be, the head honcho of your own, event, is partnering up. And I feel that so many things in our community would be strengthened
Yes.
and work so much better if instead of 20 people here and 20 people here, we put the 40 people together and work together
That's
at making
right.
that strong.
That's
So
right.
I really love that too. In Diana, big shout out to Diana. She really shows the spirit of collaboration,
Yes.
always looking to put things together, people together, events, coordinate, instead of having a lot of little small events or issues or organizations, putting them all together and becoming one. And I love that. And also too, what's interesting, Tracy, is your humbleness. And I don't know if you feel it through the screen, but you can definitely feel it here. And as she said, it's really not about accolades with her. She's really looking to just get it done.
Yes.
And speaking of getting it done, again, as I told you, I am a lover of love. You're celebrating something very special.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us what that is.
So next year, 2020, will be 20 years that my husband and I have been together. So 20 years together, but 10 years married. So we're celebrating that next year with a renewal of vows.
That's
So
amazing.
excited for that.
So, tell us a bit about, 20 years of partnership, 10 years of marriage. That's something that, again, it's so important in our community. And I
Yes.
think that with a lot of recent, social movements, it's been minimized a lot, the importance of family structure and marriage. And when you start to speak of that, people think, oh, you're old fashioned or you're stuffy. Or one thing that I really love, if you follow me at all on social media, you get a little bit of a feel for my personality. And one thing you'll kind of figure out real quick is the furthest thing I am is a pick me. But as soon as I start speaking on family and respect and love and valuing, your partner, it's, it's almost like if you're not dragging men down and pulling them down, then you're like on the total opposite side. And I feel that idea has really damaged us as a community and isn't really working in the favor of a lot of women as much as people make it sound. Do you want to elaborate a bit more on that?
Well, honestly, I believe that biblically speaking, a man and a woman should be aligned. And without an alignment, that for me I think is the reason why a lot of marriages fail. Because if you're not aligned in your purpose, then when trials and troubles and things come up, there isn't a foundation that's going to ground you. So, with Alistair and I, we've been through a lot. We've broken up a few times, but it was the foundation of the relationship that kept us there, and it was the love, So it's very important to find someone who is aligned with your purpose, your gifts, your talents. His weaknesses, I'm able to fill that gap. My weaknesses, he's able to fill that gap. And I find that whatever he does, he can't fully do it in its completion without me, and neither can I without him. And that's how God keeps the humbleness and the connection and the growth between the two of us. Because ego can't say, well, I'll do it by myself. There's no way I can produce this by myself. And the same with his t-shirt business. There's no way he can produce that by himself. Because he knows that together we're stronger. And together we both add such great value, which is why God allowed this union to happen.
Amazing. And so when you say purpose, what would you define as purpose?
So for me, purpose it's that main thing that God created you to do and be. So you can have many purposes, but ultimately that one thing that you are passionate about, that's where your purpose is. And it should, everything in your life should align with that.
And that, I think that's very, it sounds difficult to do, but once you start moving towards that, we'll overuse the word a lot right now, everything aligns.
Yes.
When you start moving in your purpose, what you're really meant to do, everything, as you say, that things start to fall into place. So where has the women's ministry fit in? Was this before the magazine?
This was before.
Okay.
So the women's ministry actually came about during a time when Alistair and I had some struggles in our relationship. And it was a time that I was looking for some support. And it didn't really exist where I was looking. And the Lord said to me, you do it. You start this group.
You want support?
You know?
So make some.
Yeah. So it was kind of like, okay, well, but, I really didn't know where to start. But, God gave me the tools. He gave me the vision, and I just went with it. And I found that as I poured into other people, it started to help my situation.
One more time, say it again louder for the people in the back.
As I started to pour into other people, it started to help me. So all the things that I needed, God supplied, and He gave me what I needed when I took my eyes off of myself and started to help others.
And a lot of gems here. I really, really hope that our intern can cut this up and share some of these gems, because that is another one that is the truth, and it's extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when we're looking for help and we're looking for relief, the help comes in helping.
Yes.
Oftentimes when we're depleted and we think we have no more to give, when we, take that spatula of our lives and we dig in the bottom and we give that piece, what you find is when you go back to dip in the jar, it's full.
Yeah.
And you don't even know where it came from. But I can definitely tell you that when you are feeling empty, when you are feeling like you need to be filled, oftentimes pouring into others will give that to you.
Yes.
But also to temper that with the caution that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So you do have to refill and replenish. But I think oftentimes people are looking to be topped up more than is needed in order to go out there and help others. So I think that that's tremendous. What you're saying is that you found your help in helping others and bringing these women together. And there is something extremely special and extremely strong. And I can say that from being at the Queen's Rising event. There's something extraordinary about a group of women together.
Yes.
With the intention of helping one another rise and in supporting each other. If you don't have that supportive network, there are a lot of amazing groups
out there.
Amazing groups.
Yeah.
So if you find yourself in a very negative circle, if you feel that kind of crab in the bucket thing, a lot of people picking at you, switch groups, change your circle.
Yes.
There are some tremendous women out there. I went to the ceremony to be met by people who tell me they follow me and they admire me and giving me hugs and thanking me, and I was amazed and blown away. So it's a value. So when we come back from this break, we're going to talk about the latest and the greatest and the upcoming that is happening actually in 2 weeks. So we'll make that announcement when we come back from this break.
My name is Trish Curling, and I am an online coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher, and your new host of Shaping Life, which is all about understanding that we have the ability and the control to take charge of our health and wellness. But we can't do it alone, and I can't wait to sit down with the best in the industry. Please tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. live here on the TCN Network.
Welcome back to this edition of What Matters. I am your host, Erica Lita, and today I am here with the CEO of Soulful Image magazine, Tracey-Acadia Thomas. Thank you for coming, Tracey. Thank you for sharing. Tracey has shared several gems from her own life experiences. I'm telling you, as I said before we went for the last break, if you find that you are surrounded by people who are negative, believe me when I tell you positive people are out there. And very interestingly, and you could tell me if you found this too, some of the most positive, supportive people will be strangers.
Oh, yeah.
People you do not know will be like your biggest fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, and we often look for that support from the people that we know. We think that, it's going to be our immediate circle, and we're so surprised and devastated when it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we have to stop being concerned so much as the source, as the fact that it's there.
Mm-hmm.
That it's actually there. So you have something really special coming up.
Yes, I do.
I mean, besides your anniversary and all of that, there's something else. You have a special event coming on. Tell us about this.
So, as one of the events that Soulful Image magazine does every year, we have a Come All Ye Faithful holiday bash that's happening on December the 12th. And it's just an event that we hold every year. Actually, this is our third annual. And it's just a time to celebrate and, acknowledge all the wins of the year. And as well, we're launching our first anthology book called Soulful. It's Secrets of Faith, Love, and Walking in Purpose. And it's just, stories of people who have gone through trials, or they found something in their life that has got them through, and they share it in the book in their own chapter.
I love it. I love anthologies. I love when people get together and they co-author, because you get these different views and these different visions. And for those who don't know, I love architecture, so I can tell you that the Marilyn Monroe towers are they're actually world-renowned.
Yes.
They're beautiful. I don't know if Celine's going to be able to do what she does and quickly pull up a picture of that, but they are amazing. I actually took a drive down to Brampton when I first arrived to Toronto just to see them in person. So really amazing venue.
Yes.
So in the book now, obviously you have a chapter. And I know you can't give it all away because we have to get the book, but what is your chapter about?
So my chapter is about living your life through the principles of love and faith.
Living your life through the principle of love and faith. And how many authors are on this
So
book?
it's 10, including myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's going to be available at, so the Come All Ye Faithful and the book launch party are the same day. And that's December
the 12th.
December the 12th.
On a Thursday. We start at 7 p.m. And it's going to be guest list only.
Okay.
So you'd have to go to soulfulimagemag.com to get your tickets. And it's going to be a great time.
And you said this is the third year.
Third year, yeah. We have award-winning photographer Lawrence Kerr again. He's amazing. We love Lawrence. He just does such an awesome job on our photos. And you'll get digital photos to take away with you for the Christmas season. And it's going to be fun. I'm going to sing.
Oh, you're going to sing. You're going to sing.
Yes,
You're
I'm
going
to
to
be
sing.
singing.
And what other
Christmas
projects
songs.
do you have coming up this year? For 2020, I should say.
2020, we have a lot that we're going to be doing with the magazine. So lots of great things. I don't want to tell everything till it happens, but keep watching, keep connected. Lots of great things in store. Yeah.
And so is there also a digital copy of the magazine? Like, can people go online and view?
Yes. So what we are actually going to be doing is we do provide a subscription, but if you sign up for our free newsletter, everyone who signs up between now and the end of the year will get a free digital copy of each issue in 2020.
Oh, wow. That's like, so can you give us the website again?
So soulfulimagemag.com and just click on connect with us and put in your email address. That's for our free newsletter. And we'll keep you up to date with all of our events and our affiliates and everything that's going on. And you'll get a condensed version of the magazine for free.
Okay, that's
for all
amazing.
2020.
So
yeah.
I'd asked you earlier in the first segment about, what you learned about in this journey of, from the concept to actually producing the magazine and having it out, it's every month that it comes out?
Right now it's quarterly.
Quarterly, okay.
But we'll have a lot more issues coming out in 2020.
Okay.
Lots of great things happening.
Now, I had asked you this during the break, and so I'm going to ask you this on air. In terms of all the different articles that you've covered and all the different people that you've highlighted, can you think of, and I know that you probably have many, but can you think of, give us maybe one or two of your favorite features or articles?
There's been so many great people. We loved working with Devon Franklin. He was absolutely amazing. The interview with him, he's just so humble and he just wants everyone to succeed. And I love that about him, is when we approached him to do the interview, he was like, sure, of course, and I really love that. Cheryl Nemhard, amazing lady. We had a great time during the photo shoot. Who else? Just so many people. Moi Fung, she was kind of one of the first issues we did that got a lot of attention. So when everyone saw her cover, they were like, what is this? I need to know about this magazine. So that was really exciting. But yeah, this holiday issue we're coming out with will be our 20th issue.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's always amazing to see these things come to fruition. I mean, it's interesting that you said, you didn't ever have the idea to do the magazine. That wasn't your intention. You wanted something to do. You wanted to focus your gift, but this kind of came, not that it kind of came to you, but this was a mission from the creator. This was the mission that
totally from him. And when I asked him, what am I going to call it? He gave it to me right away, Soulful Image magazine. And I was like, wow, it was such a powerful,
It is. It really, really is Soulful Image. And as I said, you definitely do go to the website, sign up. Getting a physical copy of this, I think like I said, if you are a lover of books, if you're a lover of the tangible, I love the quality of the magazine. And the layout is spectacular. It is absolutely spectacular. And again, all the different areas that you cover, from personal development, health, and things that are currently in society. I mean, right now I'm in this one here, and this part is called Suit Up. We're talking about fashion.
Yes.
And again, not humanizing people that are of faith. I think that this is really, I love the freshness of it and the realness of it, and that it's connective.
Yes.
And that's something that you said earlier, is that you didn't want something that segregated or shut people out. And that's why you didn't call it a Christian lifestyle magazine. You said faith-based because not everybody calls their faith Christianity.
That's right.
Not everybody who's faithful or follows God, that's their denomination necessarily. And so that I love that you went to be inclusive.
Yes.
And I think what that does is it may take people who are on the borderline, who are kind of like teetering, it might just bring them over to that side.
Oh, definitely. Because, we allow people to write articles of their journey, right? So people of all walks of life who have gone through, hard trials, different things in their lives, and just really showcase how they came out and what they're doing with their life now to help the community or help people around them. Because a lot of times we feel like we're alone. We're alone in what we're going through. But we all, in some way, shape, or form, are going through similar things. And so when you read about someone else and you're thinking, oh my goodness, if this person has gone through that and they have gotten here, then that can happen for me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
The stories of that's so important. I think sharing the stories of the trials, of the tribulations, and like you said, really importantly, how people got out of it.
Yes.
Because with social media, with a lot of the things we see, people always see the shiny end result. You know, here I am and my life is perfect and everything is good.
Yeah.
How did you get there? How did you get from here to here?
Yes.
And there are a lot of people who go through things and think they're alone and not realizing that, no, that you're talking about my life. Like that is exactly what's happening here. And these are the solutions that I found, or this is what I did that was terrible and did not work at all for my family. So I suggest maybe you don't do that.
Yeah.
I think that is so powerful in helping other people.
Yeah. And it's just really just having faith and just sticking with it and just, you know, allowing God to be with you through the process. Because I believe in everything that you're going through, God has a purpose for it, or he can use it to turn out for your good. So we always have to be mindful and remember that God is in control. If we allow him to be, then anything that we go through will just he'll turn our ashes into beauty. You know what I mean?
I do. I absolutely do.
And he will. He will.
He absolutely will. And again, Tracy, I appreciate your work. I appreciate what you do because you work to inspire so many other people through your magazine, but also through your daily life, what you do. Even, you know, at the beginning, I just feel that your accolades of your husband, it's an example that can be used by so many others. And understanding your role in his life and his role in yours and how important that is. And then the idea of building businesses as a family. Really, really powerful. And if you look at some of the top businesses in the world, what you will find out is they are run by families. They are run by families, generations. So I thank you for joining us today. Again, so the bash is when? Just remind us one more time.
December the 12th. Go to soulfulimage.mag.com, and we have tons of other events on there that you can take part in. Right now we're really promoting Salvation Army. There's a lot of poverty, a lot of things going on in the city, a lot of homelessness, a lot of people who can't afford even food. So if you see a kettle, please support, please give, especially this time of year. Families are struggling, and you know we're all a community that needs to help one another. So as you give, when you're in need, God will find a way for you as well. So that's always my heart. Always give. Always do what you can when you have something to do, and when time comes for your turn, God will take care of it.
Amen. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you for being here. I know I'll be seeing you again and again. And I look forward to it, but thank you. I know that there's a lot going on, and for you to make time to share with us is really, really appreciated. So once again, audience, I thank you for joining us. I hope you find some inspiration and some motivation today, and I will see you next week, same time, same place, here on TCN for What Matters.